Hello, welcome to another sketchbook session. Today I'll be painting a photo from a recent morning walk in Central Park. I'm starting with my ink pen and then I'll go in with watercolor after it dries. It's been a bit since I've done one of these. I had been hoping to do an urban sketching trip in Central Park during peak fall foliage, but I had a bit of a crazy fall and I ended up missing it entirely. However, I didn't want to not see the park in fall at all, so this reference photo is from a morning that I got myself out of bed early for a little walk. I knew I wasn't going to have time to draw on location, so I was going more for the actual walk itself and also to see if I could get any reference photos or videos while there were still leaves on the trees that I could paint later. I didn't know this until very recently, but apparently 6 to 9 in the morning is off-leash hours for dogs in Central Park. And while I am absolutely not a morning person, watching a ton of dogs running around and living their best lives is so fun, and I might have to make an effort to take morning walks more often. There were so many dogs, and they were all so happy. I kind of wish that I had gotten more photos of the dogs themselves, but maybe I'll try that another time. I ended up with a bunch of photos that I really liked, and at the time I was really inspired by a few of them, but then when I actually sat down for this painting session, there was only one that I actually wanted to paint, which I do feel like happens to me sometimes. I'll take a photo and in my mind I'll be thinking, I have to paint this as soon as possible, and then I get home and I look at it again and I'm like, eh. So I don't know, maybe I'll go back to some of the other ones later. That's sort of what I have them for, just in case, but I don't know. This one was what I was gravitating towards in the moment. I do really like the bridges in Central Park, so there's not actually a lot of fall trees in this one, but there are a lot of leaves on the ground. I do want to acknowledge that once I start painting, the edges of the paper end up with a weird looking texture to them. You'll see it in the sky and the edges on the side of the paper. As far as I can tell, that's my fault. The first time something like that happened was over the summer. I was doing an urban sketching also in Central Park while I was painting Bow Bridge. I got sunscreen residue on my hand all over the paper without realizing it, and it caused the same sort of texture. So I'm a little bit worried that maybe my sunscreen bottle in my bag had residue on it and it got on the edges of the sketchbook. And I don't know that for sure. This is only the second time I've had this happen. It's weird that it's just on the edges. It wouldn't be my hand doing that this time, since last time it was sort of all over the middle of the paper where I was resting my hand. So I do think that this is a me problem and not a problem of the paper. And hopefully I didn't totally ruin the sketchbook, but I'm going to monitor it going forward to see if it keeps happening, in which case maybe I'm wrong and it's not my fault, but I don't know. We'll see. I just wanted to mention that because it does look weird and it's pretty noticeable. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with how this one came out. I'm getting to the end of a bunch of the paints in my palette, but I'm not refilling them since it's almost time for me to update it for 2026. And so at the end of the year, I like to leave them empty in case I want to move colors around. It just makes it easier. So I had to make some substitutions or see what other paints I wanted to sub in from my other palettes, which is always a bit of an interesting challenge. And since it is getting to the end of the year and there's so much holiday stuff and, prepping for the end of the year, prepping for the new year, all of that, there's a lot going on, a lot of social obligations. So this sketchbook session was a really nice break in all of that. And yeah, I am going to stop talking now and I'll pop back in at the end. If you've stuck with me this long, thank you. I appreciate you. Please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more from me. All of the supplies I used will be linked in the description below in case you want to check them out. I am not sure exactly when I'm going to post this video. It might be my last one of the year. I might do a year reset video. I haven't decided yet. So either happy holidays or happy new year. I hope you're having a great end to your 2025. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.